Hello folks, welcome back to Winemaker News. We're doing Winemaker News for June at this point. Can you believe it's already June? Unbelievable. Again, I'm Richtarek, Director of Marketing. Next to me is Alan Dewitt, our winemaker. Hello. Critical component to our success here at Guglielmo Winery. So what we're going to do today, last month we did Oak Trials Part 1, and we saw the process of measuring out the oak chips, putting them in the different bottles, and blah, blah, blah. So now we're ready to revisit the wines. Again, this is Zinfandel we're working on, and the wines have been in the bottle. The oak has been in the bottle for how long now?
About a month.
About a month. So again, you treated the different bottles with an intensity of the oak to really see what the extraction would do to the the wine itself. And now we're going to go back and see what we can find out about these wines.
We did American, French, Hungarian, and then some very specific type toasts that were designed to accentuate one particular character: high spice, high vanilla, high mocha.
Yeah, we did mocha.
We did a mocha.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so we've got our teas here. These are all, I think there's about 14 different oaks we're using today.
We got our work cut out.
We got our work cut out for us. And just to reiterate, we use 4 grams per liter in all these different wines. 4 grams of oak for each liter of liquid. And what that's going to essentially give us is a very concentrated snapshot of what that oak is going to smell and taste like in the wine. And then from there, we're going to blend it back. So we have a large portion of the unoaked wine set aside, which we're going to then take little bits of this tea and blend back in, and then decide from there how far we want to go. We've got right here a bottle of our 08 Zin, and this is one that has undergone this exact same process probably about a year ago. And what we ended up using on this one was Hungarian oak and a heavy toast, which is something that really surprised me, because I didn't think, first of all, that I didn't know that much about Hungarian, so that was sort of learning about the contrasting characteristics of Hungarian relative to the more common American and French oaks. Also the heavy toast level, that's somewhat aggressive. So when you think of beautiful, really supple wines, when new barrels are used, that's how it's a big piece of wood. There's a lot of surface in there. There's no edges. When you think about a chip, there's all these little edges, and you can almost kind of translate that into the characters that you're getting. They're edgy. Yeah. But over time, they really settle down, and what we did for the wine club is we bottled up 5 cases of 375 milliliter bottles and sent everybody home with one. So
that was a really great event, by the way. It was our first ever club event in Zin vertical tasting, and everybody went home with a commemorative barrel sample bottle. We did a special label, and something when you're finished with it, you put it on the shelf and say, "Oh, I can't wait for the next one." So keep that in mind. Probably about May next year, we might be repeating that event, and you don't want to miss it, so you want to join our club.
I kind of got sidetracked about the oak. The reason it's sitting here is we're going to try to create some continuity. We don't want to just depart off into this whole new territory with our next offering. We want to have some continuity, but we also don't want to restrain ourselves to that, because if we find something that we like better, or if we can accentuate this wine better, we're really, again, trying to put that best wine forward rather than the same wine forward. And that stuff into pieces. We're going to dive into it with American oak. So let's just do it. So what we're going to do is take this is American oak medium plus. So typically this is going to accentuate really a lot of vanilla characters. So we're just giving a little swirl, do a little assessment, see what you think. What we're looking for as we go down this lineup, I think I mentioned we have about 14 different ones. We're going to look for the ones that really jump, because there will be some that really jump out. They're really going to say, hey, this is working, this is synergizing. And those are the ones we're going to kind of put a little asterisk next to as we go down this lineup, and then revisit later, and then start blending it back in with the control. Because right now, we're not blending this stuff back into the base wine. We're just looking for aromatic nuances that we like. And American oak is kind of fun because it kind of smells like hickory.
Yes.
It's brighter. So, and the more you toast it, the more you tend to bring out the vanilla. And that's definitely what I'm getting, is just really nice, rich, kind of a creamy vanilla underneath there. And I kind of got out of order here, because where I like to start is with medium. And that's sort of the entry level into each one of these toasts. You start light and then you go heavier and heavier. You may notice that the vanilla characters tend to back off a bit. Maybe some more of the hickory characters come forward. That's our foray into American. We just have the 2 toast levels. And a lot of people use almost exclusively we use American oak.
Yeah.
Exactly. Basic toast we're looking at in French is the medium plus, and the medium plus plus, which is kind of like that the Hungarian oak we used in the 08. This had the high toast. Well, the plus plus is essentially a high toast. So let's go right into this is the medium. Now I think what we're going to find here is, unlike the American, which is kind of bright and bouncy and lively and hickory, this tends to all of a sudden richen up.
Yeah.
And I think when you're trying to add those real rich, complex notes to your wines, like think Cabernets, that are just sort of opulent and layered and have lots of depth, French oak is a huge component of that.
You get a lot more of the fruit on the nose in this.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
It's not so overwhelmed by maybe some of those more toastier notes. It's clearer.
It's a lot clearer, but you're getting a really nice, black raspberry kind of fruit nose on this, which is really nice.
Do you notice maybe a little bit more depth in this one too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It draws you in a little bit deeper.
You got layers going on.
Now, I want you to keep that in mind. Keep that French medium in mind, and kind of contrast to that American medium. And then, as we were talking about, as you increase toast level, you're going to start looking for more vanilla. All right, so I'm just going to let you go right into this one first. And that's the medium plus.
How do you get the kind of the creme brulee effect on that?
Yeah. Creme brulee is a great descriptor too, because it has that it's got that cream layer and it's got that caramelized sugar on top.
Right, exactly.
And I mean, that's essentially what they're doing when they're toasting these barrels, is they're caramelizing the sugar. Right. And so you're going to get those really kind of warm, think toasted marshmallow, the outer shell of the marshmallow, brown sugar, or brown sugar for that matter, or graham crackers, or think of like pie crust that has butter. This is the French plus plus. I'm going to let Greg dive into this one.
Plus plus.
This is the plus plus.
It's funny. With the plus plus, I think there's something that's lost. You lose a little bit of...
Actually, you make a really good point. So, to this point, we've been oohing and ahhing about these different characteristics, but all of a sudden we got one that just said, I lost something. Right. So that's maybe one we're not going to revisit because it's not working. But on the ones we tried previously, you said, quite specifically, there's the fruit. I can smell it. I can really bring out the fruit. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those highlights, and I think you will really enjoy that with the French medium.
Yeah, French medium.
French medium. So that may be the one that clinches it.
Medium plus.
Excuse me, French medium plus. So we're gonna get our plus. This is Hungarian oak light toast.
Light toast. It's a light toast on Hungarian.
Yeah. This is a pretty delicate. It's gonna give it a pretty delicate impression. I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's hardly any impression of oak in this at all. I mean,
okay, let's go to the medium. The medium toast.
Medium toast. Whoa. Okay, something completely different now.
Yeah, starts to come alive. Now, what's interesting about the Hungarian too is when you start contrasting it against the American and the French, my impression has been that if you're comparing oak, toast level for toast level, so say it's a French medium, when you go to the Hungarian medium, it almost smells, it has the same intensity as a French medium plus. It almost pushes everything forward because it has so much more kind of...
I think the American had some of a vanilla thing going on. The French had the fruit really coming out, and this almost gives it kind of an herbal kind of quality, more earthy.
I get some spice.
And well, there's spice in that. There's some smoke, but it gives it more of an earthy quality at the same time.
I think so. To smell these things, I'm finding myself starting to draw into the Hungarian because that's what we did on the last one. And there's just some marriage there that I really...
We're so lucky here at Guglielmo that we have our own basic spice rack growing out there. We can play with the Carignan, we can bring in the Petit Syrah. We even have some Merlot we can blend in. We've actually working on a couple of things there as well.
So let's get into the medium plus.
It really rounds the fruit out. And became like more of a Hungarian fan just because it is. I'm getting more fruit, even though that's a medium plus.
It's a medium plus.
I'm getting more of the fruit coming through on that than the previous one.
I'm getting all this pepper in here now too that I wasn't getting before. Winter last year, this is Hungarian heavy toast.
Oh, that is so interesting. I mean, you got the spice going on, which is like an allspice now, and then you've got there's a little bit of a vanilla quotient in there. I'm getting the blackberry again. I'm sorry, black raspberry.
Oh man, that's dark. You know, you can smell the peat. It's almost like it smells like a single malt.
You definitely get the peat. I think we're onto something.
We're onto something. See why that was a winner? So let's dive into our last four.
Okay.
So these are the specialty toasts. These are our high mocha. We've got our high spice. We've got our vanilla and our vanilla pure. And what's interesting about those two is the phrase vanilla, or the word vanilla, has been coming up repeatedly on all these things. And that seems to be sort of an underlying characteristic of using oak, toasted oak. Right? For whatever reason, this one has been able. They've really been able to accentuate that very specific oak, vanilla only character. And then when so that would be the high vanilla. When they go to the vanilla, the pure. They've reintroduced some toast back to it, so it richens it up. It's not just the vanilla; it's vanilla plus toast, which a lot of these other ones have, but this one has it in a very singular way that the others don't. You've got your high mocha right there.
The high mocha, right? Here we go. We're going to Mochaville. You know, I liked it on that cab last week, but it doesn't do anything for me here.
Not feeling it?
No. Not feeling the love on it.
Typically when folks use these really specific toast chips, it's like Greg mentioned the phrase spice rack. It's really, really lends itself to that philosophy because it's just a pinch. But that's our high spice. High spice.
Now that's interesting. I'd make one of these, one of the narrowing down ones. This is really nice. Yeah, I do. You know, it's not as smoky and earthy as the Hungarian. I think it lets a little more of the fruit out, but it gives a nice spice scent to that.
This is vanilla. This is the high vanilla.
High vanilla. Yep, there it is again. I mean, it's not doing it. It's getting in the way the fruit flavor, the fruit. Natural fruit nose on the Zin, you know, it's blocking it.
Interesting is if you use that one on a Chardonnay, you'll end up with cream soda.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see it. I mean, you can taste it, you can smell it, you're like, wow, this is right, or like a creamsicle. Right? It's kind of like, it's the last, but not least. This is the pure too. And this is that one, that's sort of that combination of high vanilla plus a little bit more backbone, which is the vanilla.
Well, now that's interesting.
You see the difference?
No, that's really interesting. This is something I would definitely revisit as part of the. We narrowed down one of the Hungarians. We narrowed down one of the French.
French.
Was it plus?
It was plus.
It was plus. And then I think that does that. The vanilla pure does something nice as well.
Okay, so we got three. We're going to play with this trial a little bit more, and then put it to rest in the winery.
Yep. See where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us today. A couple of items of interest that are coming up. On June 7th, we'll be having a winemaker dinner at the Red Crane restaurant in Cupertino. We just did a trial dinner the other night. Sat down with Chef Royce Maury, and he's an interesting guy. He does what he calls contemporary Asian. And what he likes to do is bring an Asian influence to different types of styles, like Southwest. In this case, we're doing an Italian kind of Asian fusion thing. It's going to be.
Is it safe to say that if you like Italian varietals, then maybe this is a dinner for you?
Correct. Thank you for adding that. It's going to be all our Italian varietals, the Pinot Grigio, the Rosatello, which is from the Greenolino, Sangiovese, and our Charbonne, our first ever Charbonne. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And he's an excellent chef. Now, a couple other things that are coming up you want to pay attention to is we have the next Bottle Your Own event, which is August 6th. Okay, August 6th. And then on August 20th is our Harvest Festival. And that's always a big annual event here. We do great stomping and weird games and, you know, big barbecue and all kinds of fun stuff. Tickets are on sale now for that, and you just have to call us and ask for the tasting room, and you get your tickets there. And with that, I think we're pretty much wrapping up for this newsletter.
I think so. We covered a lot.
We have fun today?
We had fun today.
We always have.
That's pretty usual.
That's right.
All right.
See you, folks.
Bye.